had lots of fantastic comments about your show, and we're thrilled to have you here. It's been really exciting for us because, you know, we obviously have a great love of cabaret, and we've tried to share that love over the past decade. And over that time, local folks have also then begun to have a love for this cabaret art form and wanted to do it also. And we're thrilled that people want to be cabaret artists. We're thrilled to have you guys here tonight. Brent and Brent Marty, Claire Wilcher.
We incubated.
We incubated.
We incubated.
You incubated little chicks. You hatched.
We hatched. All over the stage. That's great.
We hatched.
So this is how this is going to go. I'm going to ask a few questions.
This is going to be real quick, everyone.
It's going to be very quick. We have some mics, so you guys can ask if you have some things you'd like to know about Brent and Claire in this process, or if you want to ask something embarrassing. I mean, that's fine too. I'm going to ask a few to get us started. And then we're going to have a little celebration afterwards. But you guys have both performed many characters in shows, and also solo, on a lot of different stages. Tell me what is different performing cabaret versus all those others.
Oh my God, this is so much harder.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear that a lot from people. It's kind of cliche, but it is really because you're you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some of the stuff we did in a character, but it's harder when it's you because it's your stuff out there.
I'm having a hard time concentrating because of how tightly I'm gripping this stool.
Would you like to stand?
I think I'm gonna stand.
Can we bring the lady a chair? Would you like to go to a band camp?
No, this is great. Look how casual. I'm casual.
That's great. But that, I mean, it is, and you know, it's a lot of material, and putting it, we worked really hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, creating it from the ground up, you have this kind of overwhelming feeling of we can do whatever we want, and that
we had a list of like 80 songs.
It's a lovely sense of freedom, but it's also quite intimidating because you think, how can I cherry pick from all of these wonderful things that I love to do?
Mm-hmm.
So
to tell the best story.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And not just sing every single song that we've always wanted to sing ever.
We could have been better thematically, I think, but this was like our first time out, and there were songs, like I know some of these songs I've been wanting to sing in public for years, but I never have. So that was part of it. But it's very different than rehearsing and performing a traditional play or musical.
So what were surprises to you? What were delights, and what were things like, were there any of those? But what were things that like, wow, this is what I learned tonight?
When I'm singing personal material, I have to put a curtain up because if not, I will just sit here and cry, and you didn't pay for that to happen. So, so for me, the surprise was I kept having to bring my brain back to rehearsal, because we rehearsed this so much. I hope it showed.
It did.
I only messed up one little line the whole
time.
line.
I messed up a lot.
Impressive.
It's fine. But I think just the surprise
so true,
was...
You get choked up and you don't realize you might, and then suddenly you're like, oh my God, I'm singing this song. It means something. And it means something to these people, and they're looking at me, and they are loving it, and oh my God. And then, but you got to snap back to rehearsal mode. You're right, like to the clear your brain, which is not typically what you do when you're playing a character. You're always in the character the whole time, and that's okay because you've rehearsed those moments.
It's also,
these moments were not rehearsed.
Well, yeah, it's delightful because we've been singing to an empty room for a long time. And just, belting our faces off and going, I hope people like it.
That was the other thing we figured out. Like, don't rehearse the day before so much. Rehearse the day before because we really sang a lot yesterday, and we probably should have rested.
Don't give away the fact that we are very exhausted.
I mean, we're pros. They didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. I don't know.
Listen to you. So when you pick a cabaret show and you decide to expose yourself, if we will, we all have something that we want to say. That's why we're here. What is it that you had hoped to convey?
I don't think, like I said, I think we could have been, like cabarets, you can have a theme or not have a theme or yada yada. And I think when I do this again,
yes.
I will maybe pay more close attention to that, like make the songs, not linear sense necessarily, but just to make a nicer little package. Now, I think this was Brent and Claire. This was like featuring Brent and Claire and things we want to do and what we do. And I think that worked, but I would maybe go a little more thematic.
Well, I think what I feel is I never really feel more me than when I am on a stage, I guess. And that's been a strange thing to come to grips with just in recent years and not playing it off. I know my persona is a lot of self-deprecation and playing it off, but it totally is me embracing who I am on stage. And I like seeing that in other performers. I like seeing a rawness to other performers. I don't necessarily need a polished product. If it's polished, great. That's the icing on the cake. But the person is the actual cake. You want more cake than icing, right?
I have more trouble with that.
Yeah.
That is my challenge.
Oh, sorry, you don't want more cake than icing. I just don't want the icing. Especially if it's that whipped cream shit. Get out of here.
Okay.
Hi, friends. How are you doing?
Oh,
Hi.
John Kern.
Hi, John.
John Kern.
So you guys both have really big personalities, and
Yeah.
in kind of different ways, though. Like you both have big personalities, but differently. So how did that work in the rehearsal room? Because you didn't have a director, right? It was just the two of you
No,
putting
we
this
did.
together.
We had the last couple of
So-
rehearsals. Shannon came in and helped us, visually
shape
from
things.
from there to watch what we were doing. But yeah, I mean, we have a good rapport.
Brent and I have been teaching.
We teach together.
We teach students together
At the Booth Tarkington
and
Civic
have been
Theater.
for many years. So we've
Tickets
always,
available.
I think we've kind of had a good rapport from day one. I also credit both of us to being direct people. We're
Yeah.
very direct
Yep.
without feeling like we're
Yep.
hurting feelings.
Yep. It was on my part, it was a conscious effort to not be offended by anything. Like, it was like,
Right.
well, I don't like this song. Okay, well, what about that song? Like, I tried to be, and we were
Yeah.
very open. It was very honest, and Claire got 5 solos, I only had 4.
Did that happen?
Yep. I don't know if you were counting.
We tried
Counted. Oh my God, he
We
counted.
tried very hard to keep it. Wait a minute. Give me a.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm so giving. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so my question is a statement and a question. Claire, we know you're leaving, and it's very sad. And my question is, why?
Have you got 3 hours? No. I'm leaving to be very frank, I'm leaving to go to graduate school to get my MFA in Michigan. So I leave in 6 days. So
You can be a real actor.
I can be for real. No. But I'm leaving to go learn how to teach better and to act better and to just, I don't know, to be better, to improve myself. But it makes me very sad to leave here. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Come back now and
Stay
again.
over there.
Don't worry.
Yeah. So thank you for saying that. That's very kind of you to say that you're sad that I'm going. I'm sad that I'm going as well. I love you. I don't know who you are. I love you.
I'm going to Carmel later.
Brent's going home to Carmel.
Okay, who's next?
I was actually going to piggyback off that and say,
Where are you?
Right here.
Oh, hi.
what are you, without getting too emotional, what are you going to miss most about the indie scene? And what are you looking forward to most where you're headed?
Oh, this is a good question. I am looking, what I will miss most about the indie scene is how many nooks and crannies there are of it. And if you put in the work to find them, they are there. And the people here, I think anywhere you go with an art scene, there are going to be kind of groups or cliques or people who kind of have these hubs of people that, and I've been lucky enough to kind of exist on the fringes of lots of them. And that's a great place to be. I like being there because I also like to go home and be alone, and I don't have any FOMO, which is fear of missing out, if any of you are unfamiliar with the term, because that gets created a lot here, and in any kind of art scene, I think people are, theater happens late at night, so there's always something to do after, and there's always social circles to hang out with, and I will miss most of all the fact that I was somehow lucky enough to be able to kind of hop into a bunch of different ones. What I'm hoping and what I'm excited about getting into in Michigan is I have a totally blank canvas, so I'm going to be French. Kidding. They don't know.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
And Beck, everyone. Yes.
I have a question. When in the process did you decide that you wanted to write your original song, and then what came first, lyrics or music?
That is a
Good
good question.
question.
That's a good question. You would ask that of any writing team. Well, Claire, it was Claire's idea to do it, and I was like, okay.
I write a lot of
And
music.
Claire writes a lot. And she's a poet. And you see maybe if your friends on Facebook, she does post. She writes a lot of poetry as part of your artistic experience.
I'm legit as hell, y'all.
And So the lyrics came first.
Lyrics came first.
Because that's how I work best. Is I have a template and I get a lyric and I can find a rhythm in the lyric and then I can figure out chord progressions and yada yada yada. So that's how it worked. And then we put it together because Claire gave me the lyrics and then she went away to New Jersey for 4 weeks and I was at home. And I said, she kept asking me, did you write the song? Did you write the song? I said, this is going to happen in one evening. I will sit down at the piano and it'll come out. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I recorded it and then I texted her. I said, here's the song. She said, I love it. And so then we got together and we were fine because there were some rhythmic things that didn't really work and we fixed those. But yeah, it was, and then it was very collaborative,
Yeah.
but it happened separately.
We both worked quickly, separately, and then went, and it kind of happened in one day.
And it's hilarious.
Same with Wheels of a
Wheels of a Scream, we literally
actually
sat at the
and just
piano and did it together.
Probably in about a half an hour.
Yeah, yeah. And we wanted to be true to the original lyric. If you look, if you want to dissect that, Jesus Christ, you would look at it and see that like all the rhyme schemes are the same and similar word patterns and nothing. We didn't change any rhythms in that. So that was fun too.
Yeah, and we love singing that song, but it's it's not an appropriate song for the two of us to sing. If you
Wheels of a Dream, like the actual Wheels of a Dream.
Ragtime, which is my favorite show of all time, and we love singing that song. It's a fun song to sing, but we thought let's change it up
And that kicked
make
off
it,
our evening of loudness.
Yeah, and make it our totally how loud we are. And I'm sorry, I saw some of you holding your ears.
What?
You did.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I blame the sound guy.
No, Malcolm, you're great.
We want to thank all of you for taking part in kind of this creative process in the making of a show.
Thank you so much.
You know, artists need a place to be able to create these things. And we're videotaping the show tonight in the hopes that they can use these clips and these performances to get more work.
Right. It's our
you know.
hope that we see more of this. So if you're out there and you are serious about it, because Shannon will take you to task. It took me years to get her to, because she wants it, she has a standard to uphold, and that's great. So if you are, I think we all want to see more of this. And we have to thank Tom Murphy, who's in the house tonight, for supporting the education programs here at the Cabaret.